Hey everybody, it's Keegan here. I'm back with another video for you guys and hope you're all having a nice day so far. Anyways, it's time for another movie review video once again. And today we're going to be talking about 4 movies, all of which I've watched in theaters recently. So let's talk about them. This first one we're going to be talking about is a horror film called Dark Match, which was directed by Llewellyn Dean. This is a Canadian film that was filmed in Alberta. And I saw this one last Saturday, and there was a Q&A session that followed after the screening of this film. And I really enjoyed this one. I thought this one was a lot of fun. The story is pretty simple. It takes place in the 80s, and you got a group of a small town professional wrestling league who get called to do a little gig at a small town. So they all go down to this town to do the gig. Well, what seemed to be a gig, but before realizing the whole town is ran by a cult who hired the wrestlers to fight to the death as part of their ritual sacrifices. And that's basically what the story's about. It's pretty simple. I really enjoyed this one. I thought this one was a lot of fun. It's got some great costume designs. The set designs look pretty good. And the acting is actually pretty good too. I thought everyone in there did a good job with their performances. And it's not incredibly gory, but it is gory at times. It's bloody. It's got some great special effects. And the choreography for the wrestling matches are all really well done too. And all in all, this one was just a lot of fun, and I really liked the music in the film too. Now, I'm not a huge fan of wrestling as much as I'm not a fan of sports in general, but I thought this one was a lot of fun. You don't really have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy this one. I know this movie also has Chris Jericho in it, who was, I believe he was in the WWE, if I remember correctly. I don't know, but like I said, I'm not a big wrestling guy, so I don't really know too much about wrestling. But all in all, I would recommend this one if you haven't seen it. It's a lot of fun, and I know it's streaming on Shudder. And the Q&A session that followed after the movie was pretty interesting. And also, I got this poster right here from when I saw the movie. I haven't got around to hanging it up yet. I gotta get around to hanging it up sometime soon. But all in all, I really liked Dark Match and I recommend it. If you like wrestling and horror movies, you'd love this one. This one was a lot of fun. Anyways, I'm giving Dark Match an 8.4 out of 10. The next film I saw was Hippo by director Mark H. Rappaport, and I believe this was his debut film. I saw the trailer for this one when I went to go see Dark Match, and I knew from the trailer that I'd have to go see it because it looked very weird from the trailer. And if you know me, I love weird movies. And holy shit, this movie was weird and it did not disappoint. I loved it. But one thing I will say, I'm not going to talk about this movie for long. I would suggest you go see this movie as blindly as possible. But the story of the film, it follows a strange family in the late 1990s, a mother, a son, and a stepsister. The two kids were homeschooled and they don't have a father figure as the father passed away years ago. And it basically follows their day-to-day life in their house. And I'm not going to give away too much from there, but that's basically what the story is about. I really enjoyed this film. It was strange, it was funny, and I really loved it. I loved every minute of it. And I thought the film was well shot, it was well made, and the acting was really well done. And all the actors and actresses did really well with their respective roles in the film. And it was, and I really liked how it was shot in black and white. It looked pretty cool in black and white. And all in all, I really enjoyed it. I will say it's not a film for everybody. You'll either like it or you'll either hate it. But me, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And if you like weird movies like I do, then we're gonna be really good friends. But in all seriousness, if you like weird movies, you'll probably dig this one. But again, I can't guarantee it's for everybody, but I personally really enjoyed it and I would definitely recommend it. I know Vinegar Syndrome has a Blu-ray release of it, so if you collect physical media, I would suggest getting it if you want to check the movie out. It's not on any streaming services as far as I know. Not that I care if it's streaming or not, because I prefer physical media, of course. But all in all, I really enjoyed Hippo, and I would definitely recommend it. Anyways, I'm giving Hippo an 8.9 out of 10. Next up, Companion, directed by Drew Hancock, and this was his feature-length debut, I believe. I saw this one on Friday, and I thought it was pretty good. It was a science fiction thriller about a couple's getaway with some friends at a cabin or something, but then it turns to chaos when it's revealed one of the people at the cabin is a robot. And I'm not going to give away too much to avoid spoilers, but I thought this one was pretty good. And the casting was pretty good. It's got Sophie Thatcher, who you might know from the movie Heretic, which I talked about a while ago. I wasn't a fan of that movie. And it's got Jack Quaid, who you might know from The Boys. He's in this movie too. The set designs are pretty good. The visuals and the color palette in this film all look really good too. I especially like the color palette in this movie. And the performances are pretty good, and I think Sophie Thatcher was probably the best out of everyone in this movie. And all in all, it was a fun film despite being very predictable. My only problem is that the trailers basically spoiled the whole movie. So if you're gonna check this movie out, I would recommend avoiding avoid watching any reviews, spoilers, or even looking at the trailers. Just go into this movie as blindly as possible. I mean, sure, I already saw the trailers from when I was seeing movies in theaters, but, oh well, it happens. But all in all, I don't have a lot to say about this one. I thought this one was fun, it was entertaining, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Stepford Wives, a little bit, and a little bit of, what's that one movie? Don't Worry, Darling. Only this movie was much better than Don't Worry, Darling. But all in all, I thought this one was fun and entertaining to watch. But it's not exactly a great or amazing movie, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. So I'm giving Companion a 7 out of 10. And the last film we're going to be talking about in this video is the animated film Flow from director Jint Zalbudis. I saw this one last night, and I thought this movie was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this one. I know this movie got some nominations for the Oscars, and it did win Best Animated Feature at the Golden Globes, which in my opinion was very well deserved. In my opinion, I really, really enjoyed this film. It's a simple film. You got a lone cat who's trying to survive a world that's been flooded, and he teams up with some other animals on a boat. They travel around the world in what the world has been flooded. I'm not going to give away too much, but that's basically what the story for this movie is about. It's very simple, and boy, this movie was gorgeous to look at, seeing on the big screen. It was amazing. There's no dialogue in the film whatsoever. There's no voice acting or anything. All it is just the sounds of the animals, the water, the nature, and it was just a beautiful film. I loved every minute of it. It's definitely one of the best animated films of the decade so far, and wow, this movie just completely blew me away. And I really, really enjoyed this one. I don't really have too much else to add about this film. I thought it was beautiful, it was well made, and I highly recommend it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard something about the animators doing this for the first time or something. I don't know if that's true, but I heard something like that. But correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But all in all, this movie was fantastic, and I would definitely check it out again in the future. And yeah, check it out if you haven't. This movie was amazing. and I'm giving Flow a 9 out of 10. So there you go. That's going to be it for this video, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, feel free to leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. And more videos will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for more. Anyways, guys, in the meantime, until next time, this is Keagan Shepard signing off. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one, everybody. Peace. Bye-bye.